A waitress was laughed at by her entire class for the tattoo on her neck. That is, until one man stood up and said, "You're not going to believe this." Our next Reddit post is from a user. A few years back, when I was still in the service, I was stationed at an Air Force base in Texas. My wife and I decided we wanted to move out of the dorms and into a house with some more space. Now we were living off base and had to find a job. She had just gotten out of EMT school and got a job as an EMT at a local hospital. I got a job working security at a bar and grill that was popular with the base crowd. At the time, my wife had several tattoos. She had 2 sleeve tattoos and a tattoo down her spine. While Texas is a fairly open state when it comes to tattoos, there was one place she had a hard time getting past the front door at restaurants. The only restaurant jobs that would hire her were at fast food places. And being an EMT, she didn't want to work somewhere where the pay was terrible. So she decided to go back to school to be a waitress. She started attending classes and met her cohort. They were mostly older people who were getting career changes or stay-at-home moms looking to join the workforce again. There was also a handful of younger folks like her, though. When introductions were done, the teacher announced that they were going to have a role-playing exercise, where they would pretend to be at a restaurant and take orders from one another. She took a seat and waited. The first girl in their group was a nervous wreck. She was shaking, couldn't lock eyes with anyone, and stuttered while saying her lines. This continued on, and after 20 minutes, they took a break. During the break, my wife went to the bathroom and saw the same girl crying in a stall. My wife asked if everything was okay, and she told her about her anxiety and how she has no idea if she can do this. My wife told her that she had it beat and then showed her the tattoos. "I'm sure I'm going to get hired, but I doubt I'll be kept on because of these." The woman in the stall looked at them and said, "Oh, honey, those are nothing. You should see what I got." She pulled up her dress and revealed a full tattoo covering her stomach and sides. "That's why I'm here. My husband left me. Said he didn't marry a tattooed tramp." My wife consoled her before returning to class, and it wasn't long before the instructor made it to her. She was really nice and supportive until they did the role-playing part. She was seated and watched as the same anxious girl came up to her and started taking her order. Then the girl started stuttering, froze, and burst out laughing. Everyone else laughed, too, until our instructor told them to stop. "What's so funny?" she asked. "Nothing," they all replied, trying to hide their smiles. "Just get on with it." She took the order without making eye contact. When it was over, my wife confronted the girl. "Why were you laughing?" "Because you look like a tramp with those tattoos." And I could unkeep a straight face. My wife just shook her head and walked away. She didn't want to make a scene, but she could feel herself getting upset. Just as she reached the restroom, she heard the instructor say, "Hey, wait here a second," and she followed her in. "I saw what she did and I'm sorry. It's not professional, but I can't let it slide. You're dismissed." Relief washed over her. Finally, someone was doing something. As she walked past the tables, she could hear them talking. She was making her way to the door when she heard her instructor ask the same girl who had cried earlier, "Do you have any tattoos?" "Well, yeah, right here." She lifted her dress and revealed the same tattoo as before, and on my back. She turned around to show them. "Oh wow, everyone. You think it's wrong to have tattoos?" "No, not at all. But I will say this. No tattoos on the face or neck. But I don't see a problem with it. You're a freaking idiot." Our instructor stepped in front of her. "Let's keep this professional." My wife walked out and saw her husband waiting outside with her car keys. She was going to quit anyway, but now she definitely was. As she passed the tables, she could hear them snickering. She exited and got in the car. Her husband asked what happened, and she told him, "I don't care if she has tattoos. What I don't like is that she lied to me about them." She explained that when they got married, she promised not to get any more, and that she broke her word. He dropped her off at home, and she took a long shower to try and relax. Her husband suggested that she'd ignore it and keep working. "She's probably new and doesn't know anything about me yet. Give it some time, and she'll warm up to you." But she was already done. She wasn't going to spend her days catering to people who thought she was a freak just to make a paycheck. About a week later, she was at home watching TV when her phone lit up. It was her instructor asking if she would come back to work. Apparently, the other girl had told everyone that she was related to someone important, and that was why she was being treated so badly. Since she wasn't related to anyone important, they were afraid of losing their jobs and begged her to return. She agreed. On her first day back, her colleagues were all very nice. They apologized for their behavior and welcomed her back. She had to serve one of them, though, and that was the girl who had tried to sabotage her. The girl was nice until she got the bill. Then she threw it at her and said, "Don't you dare try to screw me out of my money. I know what you did to Tracy. Don't mess with me." She smiled and told her, "Just relax. You're not going to believe this." So a couple days later, she was sitting at a table with a man in his late 30s. He looked military. So she struck up a conversation and asked where he was stationed. Fort Sam Houston. She recognized the base and asked if he was in the Army. "Nope. Air Force. Oh, I'm sorry." "Which branch?" He gave her a sharp look. "Marines." Then he looked away. "Oh, I'm sorry. Was there a problem?" "No, ma'am. Everything's fine." After he left, she called her husband and told him about the man. He seemed nice enough, just a little standoffish. She waited for a reply, but he never responded. On her next break, she went to the bathroom and dried off the man's bill. She felt bad for snapping at her. She knew what it was like to be under pressure. Suddenly, she noticed something on his neck. She squinted and realized it was a tattoo. She could only make out the bottom half of it, but she could see enough to recognize it as a unit tattoo. She had been in the Marines and seen her fair share of them. She was confused because she didn't remember seeing the tattoo before. When she returned to her station, she was surprised to see him again. "Can I help you?" "Yeah, I was wondering. Do you have any t-shirts?" "Of course, right through there." "Great. Can I see one?" "Sure." She retrieved a shirt and brought it to him. "Thanks." He put it on and revealed the tattoo on his neck. It read India Bravo Lima Echo Yankee Kilo. That's Marine Corps code for I bleed red, the color of courage. A smile spread across her face. "I served with a unit named after that." "Oh, you did? Where?" "Camp Leloyne, 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines. Same." He smiled. "You're not going to believe this." He told her about his time at Camp Leloyne. She listened intently. "It's crazy how small the world is. I worked security there for a while after I got out. How about that? It sure is small. I was just talking to my wife about a Lance Corporal Johnson the other day." "Oh, was he tall and skinny with glasses?" "Yeah, how did you know? I'm his brother-in-law," she gasped. "Really? Your name isn't Johnson, is it?" "Nope, it's her married name. We all kept our maiden names." They talked for the rest of her shift, reminiscing about their time in the service and catching up on each other's lives. When it was time for him to leave, he paid his bill and walked out. She watched him go and realized that she had been smiling this whole time. Op updates. "I didn't realize it at the time, but he'd left a tip on the table. When I picked it up, I saw that he'd written Semper Fidelis on it. I'm sure most of you know that's the Marine Corps motto, but I didn't. When I got out, I wasn't close with any Marines, so I never learned that." I smiled as I read it again. I missed being in the service sometimes, but knowing that veterans are all over the country, bringing home a piece of their former lives sure helped. Our next Reddit post is from another user. "So I was 19 years old and working at a pizzeria in New York City. One day this guy comes in. He's got sleeves, neck tattoos, shaved head, beard, nose ring, the whole bit. I literally stop what I'm doing and stare at his neck and start yelling, 'Dude, I haven't seen another vet with the 82nd Airborne Division tattoo since I got out 6 years ago. Holy crap, we need to talk.' He looks at me and says, 'You're not going to believe this.'" That was our veteran story. And if you like that one, we have an entire series of veteran stories on our channel. So if you want to check that out, just search veteran on our channel and you'll find them all there. And if you enjoyed this content, please feel free to check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.